first off, where did the inspiration come from for She's Funny That Way?
Well, the basic setup came from a personal experience I had in Singapore when I was making a film there in the late 70s. It was a film about an American pimp in Singapore based on a novel by Paul Theroux. And we actually used a number of real escorts and met some real madams and real pimps. And we got to know that milieu. I became fond of some of the escorts, and two of them particularly touched my heart because they wanted to go home. They'd been tricked into what happened to them. So I gave them money to go home if they promised to give up escorting. And they did. One went home to Malaysia and the other went home to Thailand. And then for years I thought that'd be a funny situation if somebody gives an escort money to stop being an escort. And then things happen. I didn't know what happened, but that was something in the back of my mind for years. And that's what we started with.
All right, so while writing the script, were there any characters that you were just immediately drawn to, or?
Well, all the characters were interesting. We thought Jane was a particularly funny character, the therapist. She was based on somebody that we know who's very self-involved, not a therapist. And we just thought it'd be a funny character, the worst therapist you've ever seen.
What was it like working with such a diverse group of actors? I mean, you got to work with Owen Wilson, Jennifer Aniston, Will Forte, and...
They were all terrific. They were all just terrific. Everybody is different. Jennifer picked the role herself. We had asked her to play Owen's wife. She said, no, I want to play the therapist. She said, but I know who could play the wife. And she suggested Catherine Hahn, and she suggested Will Forte. But she wanted to play the therapist, and she's very funny, and she was right, because it's probably the funniest part in the picture.
You've been directing for years, but what sets this apart from all of the other films that you've done?
It's the most recent one. I don't know that there's anything else that sets it. It's just, it was fun to make it, but they're often fun to make. Then you get into problems in post-production, which can be a pain in the neck. But this was all right. I love working with the actors, to be candid. I mean, making the picture is working with the actors and making the picture. That's when I make it. Pre-production, post-production, it's necessary, but making the picture is really working with the actors.
And one quick last question. In a rapidly changing world of entertainment, what advice do you have for aspiring filmmakers?
Well, it's the same advice I always give to when somebody comes up to me and asks me what I want to make films, what do I do? I say, don't give up, because it's a brutal business, and you might want to give up, but the only way to succeed is to never give up.